Greetings, it's time for more Towers 2 Enhanced Stargazer Edition on the Atari Jaguar. And right here I'm on level 11, which is right before you get to the final level where you face off against Dagon. But before you can do that, you have to go through some tests. And so I came across this, well, on the original version of this, there was a little bug where this doesn't exist. This portal that I'm about to show does not exist, but it does in this version, and so you have to actually go through there. It'll take you down to level 3, where you then have to face off against 3 iron sentinels. I believe that's what they're called. But if not, my apologies. But this is going to be heavily edited. I should be doing more of that for my Towers 2 playthroughs instead of making you watch through an hour-long process of certain things. But here with these guys, as before, anytime you come across them, you have to be using that Sword of Rust. And so, again, editing and in some points speeding things up here, and yes, there were times where I died on this, and I just cut that all out because who really wants to watch me go through all that? Just some things to keep in mind are that you want to have your lightning spell ready to go. If you've come across that, of course, if you're a mage, then you'll probably be able to fire off more than one, whereas I only get one shot. And then, of course, your Sword of Rust. But those are the only 2 weapons, as far as I know, that actually can do some damage to them, but of course it's always randomized, and so sometimes you might get lucky and the lightning bolt actually takes down most of his health, or it does, like you just saw happen to me there, where it basically did nothing. But once you defeat these 3 monsters, then you are able to get access into the library, where you can read more scrolls that unveils more of the story. I guess essentially gives you the background to the villain and such. And from there, we have to pass one of 3 tests, which I'll do in a separate video. And once you pass at least one of the tests, then it removes that portal on level 11, and you can go and face off against Dagon, or Dagon, whatever you want to call him there. Now, with these Iron Sentinels, as you've seen before, they are very heavy guys. There's a few instances earlier in the game where you have to kill them on top of a plate to keep the plate weighed down, to like keep a door open or something. And they have very heavy swords, and so if you're playing a character like mine, where I tried to do the jack-of-all-trades guy, where he's a little bit of a magic user, a little bit of a warrior, I guess you would call him a battle mage, but he's not necessarily proficient, or really highly proficient in either one of those areas. That's where something like those swords are only going to be effective on the with the I can't remember his name, Gerald perhaps, the warrior guy, where you can usually roll a lot of strength. But once you kill the 3rd iron dude, he drops this sapphire library key. And this is one of those points where I'm speeding it up so you don't have to sit there forever. And that gets you into the one door, but then you have to, this is where you have to hold on to certain keys, and this is one of my biggest dislikes about this game, is it has all these keys, and you're never really sure which ones you need to carry around. It's like, I wish that the Enhanced Stargazer Edition would have had something just like a keychain, maybe something that wouldn't add weight as you added more keys to it. I mean, because really, there's, even with a huge wad of keys around, it's not going to cause you to stop being able to walk. But it's just really annoying to know which keys you need to keep or which ones you don't need to keep as you go throughout the game. And annoying to keep certain keys for a long time throughout the game, and then it'd just be pointless. And as you see here, where it's like I'm trying to, I mean, obviously, at least with this part, there's these different keys, like the sapphire library key, ruby library key, and etc. So at least you know that. And in one of these rooms, you get some nice items, such as the great helm. But of course, if you're playing as the magic user Merlon or something, he's not going to have the strength to be able to carry stuff like that. But anyways, that's it for this little part of the Towers 2 venture. Again, I have filmed all the way up to the end, although it did crash on me, so I need to, I guess, play through that final battle again and see if it keeps happening or if it was just a one-off bug. But come back for more onto these onto these tests, and we'll catch you then.